Hello, manifestors. Are you trying to manifest something on a time crunch, on a deadline? If so, we are going to discuss today in this video what it means when you are doing this. What does it mean when you are trying to manifest on a time crunch? Why it doesn't work, right? For most people, it doesn't. And how to manifest on a time crunch or no time crunch. Anyhow, if you have to manifest fast, how do you do this? This is what we are going to consider today in this video. So please, first of all, be sure to like the video to help the video spread about for those people trying to manifest on a time crunch. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and comment, ask your questions. I always read all the comments and answer a lot of questions. And be sure to listen in all the way to the end. So in this video, I want to bring about 3 points about manifesting on a crunch or on a deadline. Number one, why you are saying that you need to manifest on a crunch or on a deadline. What's really behind this? Why it doesn't work for most people who are trying to manifest on a deadline. And number 3, what you should do instead. So number 1, what does it mean most of the time when someone comes up to me and says, how do I manifest this or that on a time crunch or on a deadline? It means, for maybe not for everyone, but for many people, it means that they are using the law as an emergency kit, meaning that on a daily basis, they are still the old person, they are still the old man, the old self, living life as it comes, like most people, right, who don't know this law. And all of a sudden, there's something happening, right? They have a rent to pay. They need a certain, maybe big amount of money because they need to fix something or whatever it is. And therefore, at that moment, boom, they realize, oh my God, I need to manifest this now. What do I do? When really, to me, if you are already in the knowledge of this manifesting community, you already know about Neville Goddard. You've already watched several coaches on different channels. It means that you are already aware of this law, right? So you should have started then and there, right? You should have started then and there already manifesting that you are abundant. Because a lot of times when people need to manifest on a crunch, it's about money. So if you had already started, the moment you understood what this law is all about, the moment you understood that what you imagine on a daily basis, on an instant basis, even what you imagine that you are, is manifesting, is going to manifest in your 3D reality very soon, right? So if you had started there, right, the moment you discovered this law, and let's say apparently your main issue is money, right? If you had started imagining, seeing yourself, feeling yourself wealthy, abundant, doing exactly what it is that you want to do now on a time crunch, if you had started then and there, you wouldn't be now in the need to manifest this or that on a time crunch. But it is because you haven't done that. Most probably because you still see this law as an emergency kit, as a magic pill that you use, that you take only when you need it now. This is why you are in a situation where you need to manifest on a time crunch. So at the end of the video, we are going to talk about how you manifest your stuff that you need so badly on a time crunch, but more importantly, how you manifest every day on a moment basis so you don't have to get to that point where you need to manifest on a time crunch. So if you are manifesting on a time crunch, at the end of the video, I'm going to explain to you how we do this. Now, why doesn't it work? Why for most people who are manifesting on a time crunch, it's not working? Number one, if you are manifesting on a time crunch, you're not living in the end of your wish fulfilled. No way. It's impossible. Living in the end is already being whoever you want to be, already having whatever it is that you want to have. So if you're saying, how do I manifest on a time crunch? You're coming from the state where you don't have, obviously, right? You don't have what it is that you need on a time crunch. Because if you did, you wouldn't have to manifest on a time crunch. So it's an oxymoron, right? You can't manifest on a time crunch from the state, oh my God, I'm desperate, please, you guys on Facebook groups, please tell me, how do I manifest on a time crunch? This is why it's not working. You are trying to manifest what you need so desperately, apparently, since you need to manifest on a time crunch, from the state, obviously, from the state of not having that thing. So therefore, as per the law, as per the basis of how the law works, it can't be working. I really hope you get this, guys. And if you are manifesting on a time crunch and you take the time to write down on a Facebook group or anywhere a post saying, I need help to manifest on a time crunch. How do I manifest on a time crunch? It means that you took the time to look at 3D and say to yourself, oh, I don't have my desire. By doing this, by looking at 3D long enough so you could write your little question, how do I manifest on a time crunch? You already expanded the fact that you do not have your desire, because you already looked at 3D and you already decided, oh my goodness, I need this so bad and it's not here. So by doing this alone, you have already expanded the fact, so to speak, that you do not have your desire. So you see how the very fact that you are asking, how do I manifest on a time crunch, is working against you as you speak. It's like you taking your hand and putting your fingers in an electric outlet and saying, how do I stop being electrified? How do I stop being electrified? Well, by first not putting your fingers in an electric outlet. That's how you start, right? So when you are looking at 3D long enough, saying to yourself, oh, I have to go in so-and-so Facebook group and ask the question, how do I manifest on a time crunch? You just did the same thing with the law as the analogy that I took. You putting your fingers in an electric outlet and asking, how do I stop being electrified? Do you get that, guys? Because it's very, very important that you do. Because many of you are actually doing this all the time. Not only when you want to manifest things on a time crunch, but on a regular basis. As a regular thing that I see out there, you are dwelling in the unwanted in one way or another. And then you are asking coaches or Facebook groups, how do I manifest my desire? Well, how is by, first of all, stop doing that. Stop doing what you're doing now. And when it comes to time crunch, stop being desperate. Stop looking at 3D. Stop asking how you manifest on a time crunch and manifest already. So now that we know what it means when you guys want to manifest on a time crunch and why it's not working, let's see how to manifest your thing on a time crunch or no time crunch, how to manifest, period. And please, if you haven't caught that yet, watch my videos, especially start by the end, right? Start by the newest one all the way to the oldest one. But really watch my videos and you should get a good clue about how we manifest time crunch or no time crunch. So basically, when you are in a situation where you feel that you have to manifest on a time crunch, it's because you became unconscious, even though you discovered the law and maybe you tried to manifest consciously, but somehow you became completely unconscious, and then boom, something fell on your head, and it didn't fall by mistake or by accident. It did because you fell unconscious and you have manifested every single day, every moment of the day, but unwillingly rather than willingly. So, if you are in a situation now where you need something desperately, this is what you do. So, let's say you need a specific amount of money right away. You need that rent to be paid. You need that money to fix your car or whatever it is that you need that money for on a time crunch. Most likely when you need to manifest on a time crunch, it has to do with money. But if it has to do with anything else, please apply what I'm going to say for whatever it is. It's always the same thing. I said it a million times. I'm going to say it again. How you manifest one thing is how you manifest everything. I have to admit that I am very surprised, even shocked, when I read the sentence or hear the sentence. How do I manifest? And people put whatever it is after ... How you manifest anything is the same thing. How you manifest one thing is the same way as how you manifest anything. How you manifest one thing is how you manifest everything. Really screw this in your mind once and for all. So the way you do it, when you are manifesting on a time crunch, you see yourself abundant already, right? The moment you hear about this law and it's telling you, imagine and feel that you are the person who has whatever it is that you want, right? Doesn't matter what it is, it's all the same. I've said that many, many times in my videos. So if money is the problem for you, as soon as you hear this, what should you be doing? Well, you should be imagining and feeling in imagination that you are the person you want to be. So you already are abundant. You already have plenty of money. You already have a business that is flourishing. You already are that person. Therefore, very soon, very, very soon as linear time goes, when you feel this way, you feel abundant, you feel wealthy, you feel that lack is not even an issue anymore, it shouldn't take that long for that to reflect in your 3D reality. So when you get to that moment where you need to manifest on a time crunch, that would not even exist in your reality. The only reason there is a situation that makes you in the need of manifesting quick because I'm going to be thrown out of my apartment, or I'm going to be walking for the rest of my life because I can't fix my car, or whatever it is, right? Those circumstances would not even happen. They would not exist in your reality if you had used the law as a way of life, as you're supposed to use the law, because the law always works for you and on you anyhow. If you have used the law as a way of life instead of an emergency pill that you take when something terrible happens, or when you really need to remember, oh yeah, there's that law that says I can manifest, right? So I'm not saying this is for every single person watching this, but most likely 90% of the time, when someone needs to manifest on a time crunch is because of that. They have forgotten about the law on a daily basis. They still live as a robot, as someone who is not aware of what they are thinking, what they are feeling. And all of a sudden, they have a need, an urgent need. And they remember, oh, yes, maybe I could use the law. So let me ask people, let me ask those coaches, let me ask Facebook groups, how do I manifest on a time crunch, right? So the number one issue here is that you shouldn't have to manifest on a time crunch. You shouldn't have to. If you are already in a Facebook group, if you already are aware of manifesting coaches, manifesting channels, you shouldn't have to manifest on a time crunch. So that's number one. But if you've got there, right, if you've got to the point that you need to manifest on a time crunch, the answer is you do the same as when you're not on a time crunch. You imagine and feel that whatever it is that you have to pay, it's paid for, it's done. And you release all anxiety, all doubts, all worry. You release all of that because it's already done. That's what you do. Spend the hour, spend the day, spend the week dwelling in the feeling, regardless, completely regardless of the 3D. Dwelling in the feeling of being wealthy, of being abundant, of being that person that doesn't have a worry about money because you already have it. Be the person who has already paid all the bills, already paid whatever it is that you need to pay right now. Be that person regardless of the pressure, regardless of whatever is going on in the 3D. Because guess what? If you are afraid to let go of the 3D and you're like, well, I can't be relaxed enough to imagine that I'm wealthy when I need to pay this. Do you think, ask yourself, is it going to help you in any way, shape, or form to worry right now? Do you think it's going to pay whatever it is that you need to pay by tomorrow, by yesterday, by worrying and dwelling on that worry? Do you think it's going to help in any way? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and worry, right? Do that. But most likely the answer is no. So if the answer is no, leave the world alone, as Neville said, and do that already. Dwell in the feeling of either being wealthy and abundant and have no worry about bills whatsoever, or in the feeling of having this thing paid already. This is what you need to do, guys. If you are wanting to manifest money on a time crunch, or if you need to manifest anything else on the time crunch, the same rules apply. Just replace whatever it is. Since this time around I use money because it's money that people need the most on a time crunch, but whatever it is, replace money with your desire. I certainly intend that this video was helpful to you guys if you are in the habit of manifesting on a time crunch or in the need of manifesting on a time crunch. If you need my personal help, be sure to check the links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.